April favorites. Yes, it's time to share monthly favorites with you guys. We are already into the month of May, so it's time to share the April favorites, of course. So I do have a couple of stuffs to share with you guys right here. So without a further ado, let's just get started. So I do have some primers that I've been trying, that I have been loving, as well as foundation. So to start my favorite for the month of April, I'm starting it off with a makeup primer, and this is by Kevyn Aucoin, and this is their Sensual Skin Primer. I'm pretty sure you have heard of their Sensual Skin Enhancer, their foundation. So this is the primer for you to apply them before you put on your Sensual Skin Enhancer, but then you can of course use this particular face primer for any other foundations that you are trying out or you're wearing over your skin. So I have been using this particular skin primer throughout the month because I'm trying to rotate my beauty products, and while testing it out for you guys, at the same time trying to use them up. So this has to be one of my very favorite one for the month of April. As I've mentioned, my skin is more of like a combo to kind of like dry, sometimes oily on the T-zone area. So I've been really liking this primer. This primer helps to hydrate the skin. It gives a very nice looking skin. At the same time, it also applies the foundation beautifully. So this is again the Sensual Skin Primer. What I like the most about this particular primer is it comes in like this sort of form, like a moisturizer kind of form. So you just have to press it up to get the product, and this is how it looks like. So it's a typical kind of like lotiony kind of primer. It does have like very mild scent to it, but it isn't like an overpowering scent. So it does apply very cooling kind of feel to the skin. And it also has like a slightly sticky kind of feel, which helps the foundation to adhere better to the skin. Next, moving on to the foundation, I've been enjoying my Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Makeup Stick, which looks like this. So this is very similar to the Makeup Forever Ultra HD stick version. They do look similar in packaging, like slightly similar. Let me just pick up my Makeup Forever one. So this is how my Makeup Forever one looks like. Of course, it's more of like a chubbier version, and then this is slightly thin. But this foundation works so well when the skin is a little bit more on the oilier side. Even then, though I do have like combo to dry skin, it doesn't emphasize on my dryness, and this a little goes a long way. I'm actually wearing the foundation on my face area today, and the foundation shade that I am in is number 450 Suede Neutral, I believe. I'll leave the details down on the description bar below. So again, it comes in a stick form, and then this is how it looks like. So this again, very little goes a long way. I've tried applying the most out of it, and then it ends up looking very cakey. So I just tend to apply like one streak right here, then maybe 1.5, and then one right here, one dot, one right here, and then two slide a little bit on both sides of my cheek, if that does make sense. And then I blend it out. And the brush that I like using with this foundation has to be my Kevyn Aucoin. This is their face brush, I believe, to apply foundation. I just press in the foundation before I start buffing it out, and again, this helps to apply the foundation beautifully, and then I set it with a translucent powder. Next up, I'm going to share with you guys my top favorite eyeshadow palette for the month of April. Being it testing out products, I decided to just use this one palette. It has definitely made it to the best of drugstore, and it's Pixi's ItsJudytime eyeshadow palette. This palette is definitely a must-have. If you happen to walk into Target or you happen to see it online, definitely get yours, because this is something that is so affordable. At the same time, it is so well made. Each and every eyeshadows in here are very well pigmented, very well wearable. They stay on the lid for a long hour, and I have no complaints about it, no fallouts, no major disaster at all. So I've been really loving this eyeshadow palette. It's a neutral kind of eyeshadow palette. At the same time, they do have some shimmery shades right here, and then they do have like deeper shades for you to create smoky eye. I really have dug into it, especially this shade right here. I like using it as an highlight shade, and then this one I like using it all over my lid. And this right here also, I like using it all over my lid for an everyday kind of look. This palette is a go-to palette for me. And the other thing that I've been enjoying from Pixi has to be the contour palette, and this is by Maryam, and I don't want to pronounce her last name. I may just butcher her last name, so I just say it's by Maryam. And this is another contour palette that has truly made it to my list after Jessie's Girls contour palette, because for me, like I mentioned, I'm on a deeper skin tone. Sometimes contour palettes just doesn't work out for me, but this one is really a nice one to have. I'm trying to open this up. So I managed to open it up. Though I've been using it frequently, I still struggle to open this up. So this is the contour palette. I kind of like use these two shades to contour my face area. And the highlight shade, I do like it as well. They're very wearable. The only shades that I tend to not too much try on is this one right here, because I kind of felt like it's kind of light, and this one right here, I haven't tried it to set my under eye area. This blush is a very beautiful blush if you tend to make the bronzer look more deep and then you apply on the top of it, then it shows up much better on my skin tone. But I believe on fair skin tone girls, it will show up much more prettier. On deeper skin tone girls, I had to work on a little bit harder, but the overall quality of this contour palette is really nice. So if you're into checking out Pixi Beauty, definitely check out their contour palette as well as the eyeshadow palette. And I have one more to mention that I've been enjoying from Pixi Beauty, so let's finish that up before I move on to the rest of the makeup stuff. So this is their lower lash mascara. So this one, I've been really enjoying it. I like the Clinique lower lash mascara, but since I got this, I've been using this for my lower lashes. Like I have mentioned, I have no tons of lashes like on my eye area, so I definitely have to work on a little bit harder to make them seen, especially on the lower lid. So I've been really enjoying this one. So it looks very similar to the Clinique wand, like just like tying into a wand to apply on your lower lid. So this has been really working so well for me, and I've been really enjoying this one. So moving on to the next one in the list for the month of April has to be an eyeliner. This one is fairly new, but I definitely needed to mention it because I have never got a proper chance getting a proper brown eyeliner, especially for my eye area, to show up on me. So this one has to be the best one thus far I have found, so I definitely needed to mention it, and it's by Marc Jacobs. I do have like a swatches and also review on them. I've already done it on my What's Hot in Makeup Mondays. I'll list it down on the description bar below for you guys. So this one has to be in the shade Brownie. This has been my favorite one. I'm definitely looking forward to purchase more of these eyeliners because they have actually made it to the list of my favorites. So this is in the shade Brownie. It goes on very pigmented and I don't have to work too much. Most of the eyeliners, when it comes to brown eyeliners, they tend not to show up on my skin tone, but this one definitely had made it to my best of best list when it comes to eyeliners. Up next, I'm going to share with you guys my top 2 favorites of blushes for the month of April. I have 2 blushes to share with you guys. So the very first one has to be an high-end blush, and this is by Tom Ford, and this is their blush in the shade Gratuitous. Hopefully I'm pronouncing it correctly, and it's in the number 07. This is definitely available. You guys can check out if you want to get a blush from Tom Ford. And I've been really liking this particular blusher, and this is how it looks like. It's kind of like a mauvey, pinky, purpley kind of shade. It's difficult to describe the shade. I don't want to blind you guys with the mirror inside, but this is how the blush looks like. And let me see if a swatch does the blush a justice. And this is how the blush swatches like. So it's a very beautiful blush, very well pigmented. You do not need to pick up tons of it on your brush to apply on your cheek area. You have to go very slow while they're applying this blusher because they can be very pigmented. So a slow light hand works better for this particular blush from Tom Ford. And the other blusher that I've been enjoying is an oldie but a goodie, and it's by the brand called The Balm. This particular blushes, I kind of feel like they are like underrated for its quality, because I do find most of the products from The Balm are very decent kind of product, but I hardly see it being mentioned. So I definitely needed to give it a credit, and it's their In-Stain blush in the shade. This one is Hound's Tooth, and I've been really enjoying this one. This is how the blusher looks like. So it's very similar to the Tom Ford blusher, but of course this is more of like an affordable version, and this one a little goes a long way as well. So I'm just going to do a swatch because I do have the primer on the back of my hands, so it's kind of like getting a little bit wet at the back of my hand. So this is how the blusher looks like. So the Gratitude is more of like a purpley kind of version, and the Hound's Tooth is more of like a pinky kind of version of it. But both of it are really pretty and a must have. And if you're looking something like more on the affordable side, definitely check out the Balm's In-Stain blushes. And one highlighter that I had to share with you guys for this month has to be from Wet n Wild. This one definitely beats most of the highlighters that I own. It kind of made me feel that I don't need high-end highlighters to look amazing. Like, because this one particular highlighter has definitely made the list of the best of best for its pricing, for its affordability, and the quality of it. It's really nice. And this is Crown of My Canopy. I definitely want to get the other one that everyone has been talking about, but this one is equally beautiful, and this is how it looks like, and very pigmented. And this is how Crown of My Canopy looks like. So again, it goes on so beautifully pigmented. At the same time, it wears for a long hour. I do not see it fading like on me, like for the hours that I've been wearing it over my skin area. I do not notice like it's washed away from my skin. So I've been really liking this particular highlighter, and definitely if you ask me, I'll definitely stock this up. Next, moving on to lip products. I do have 3 lip products to share with you guys. The very first one is something that I'm wearing on my lip area. This is not the first time I'm sharing this. Probably I've shared it in my past favorites, but then I guess I've forgotten, so it's time to reshare it again. It's by Huda Beauty, and this is in the shade Trendsetter. I'm actually wearing it on my lips. It's kind of like, for me, I feel like it's like a nudish kind of color for my skin tone, and I totally like this shade. Reason being is it wears very comfortably on the lips. It doesn't dry up my lips. At the same time, it's not kind of like a really long wearing matte lip. I tend to like reapply them, especially when I've had my drinks or I've had some food. So I definitely have to reapply them, which I totally don't mind. So this has to be my favorite one from Huda Beauty when it comes to a nudie kind of shade. And if you are probably like around my skin tone, or even deeper skin tone than mine, or even fairer skin tone than mine, I probably would feel that you will totally love this particular shade from Huda Beauty. The next one is also from Huda Beauty. This is something that I would wear on a day that I want to have like a bold lip and the entire look of my face area is much more simple. And it's in the shade Material Girl. This is another must-have. You have to check out this shade, especially during the spring and summer weather. You will definitely enjoy this one. So let me just do a swatch of this. Since I had Trendsetter on my lips, I didn't want to swatch it. But this is how Material Girl looks like. I really love this shade. This is something that I would just wear on its own. And the next lip product that I've been enjoying is from Polka Cosmetics. This was again gifted to me by my friend Romana from Malaysia. So I have been using this shade like crazy, and this is in the shade Tambourine. And Polka, you can actually get them online. So I'll list down their website details on the description bar below. This is very similar to the Material Girl, but of course it's much deeper. This has more like a plummy kind of finish, and it's really beautiful. It's much lighter though, but they do wear very comfortably on the lips. They do not dry the lips, and it doesn't look like crunchy on the lips. Like sometimes some matte lips, once they dry up, they look so awful on the lips, but this particular lip stuff doesn't do that to you. So it's kind of like my favorite at the moment. Now I do have one skincare to share with you guys, and I don't want to take my larger version of it from my vanity, so I just took the sample size to show it to you guys. And it's actually a skin moisturizer that I've been using, and it's by Lancome, and this is their Pure Nilotica Melt. This is a nourishing balm to oil. This is actually a nighttime moisturizer, that's why they personally recommend, but you can also use it for daytime. If you're comfortable using them on your skin during the day, just use it. It does help accordingly, just like how it helps your skin during the night. I personally like using it during the night because this definitely helped my skin a lot, especially having dry skin. It definitely helped my skin to add some moisture to it. I have been only using this particular moisturizer all over my face, over my under eye area, over my eye areas, and my entire face area. I do have very bad under eye area, like really dark under eye area, but this has been helping me through. Like all the darkness on the side of my eye area has been disappearing slowly because it does brighten up your skin. It doesn't give you a whitening effect, but it brightens up your skin. Like it takes away all the hyperpigmentation eventually, so your skin does end up looking a little bit more brighter when you don't have even skin tone. That's what I kind of suffer with certain areas of my face, being an Asian. I have been asked by most of my friends what I've been using on my face area because it does show a little bit different. So this is something that I've been using, and this is definitely a must-have. So definitely check out Lancome. If you can get a sample size, try to get a sample size and try out their Pure Nilotica Melt Pomade. This is the best skin recommendation thus far. Now I do have some makeup setting spray to share with you guys that I've been really liking. One of it is Pixi's Vitamin Makeup Mist. This one is definitely a must have. Before I put on my makeup, I'll just spray it over my face area. I definitely love the scent of this. This is Orange Blossom with citrus extract. So definitely there is orangey kind of scent to it. So I love it so much. So I just apply this all over my face again. I leave it for a bit before I put on my face primer, and then I go on with applying my foundation. So this is a must have. Definitely check this out. If it's available, quickly grab them. It also says that it's an energizing facial water, definitely, because it helps to boost in treatment toner mist, gives a revitalized, awakened effect to the complexion. 100% agree with this one. And the other one that I've been enjoying is Pixi's Makeup Fixing Spray. So this does contain rose water and green tea. So it's a makeup setting spray, and it's an 80 ml of product. I believe that this one is also an 80 ml of product, just like their Glow Mist. And this one is such a help for me, especially on a day that I feel like I'm applying too much of powder to my face area to set my makeup. I quickly go and spray this on my face, and then it kind of makes me feel that everything has toned down and it looks much more natural after I've sprayed this particular makeup fixing spray by Pixi Beauty. And last but not least, I definitely needed to share this. Of course, this is like really new to my vanity, but I just had to share it because I've been really obsessed with this particular shade, and I'm actually wearing them on my nails. And this is a nail polish by KL Polish by Caitlin Lights, and this is in the shade Miss Honey. This one is, I don't know what amazes me, it's just like a nudie kind of shade, but each time I look at my nails, I kind of feel like they look very pretty with this particular nail polish. I've been enjoying most of it that I got from her spring collection, but this one has to be my most favorite one. This one was not even in my list when I wanted to purchase a nail polish, but I ended up adding it to my cart and then I got it. I kind of feel like their nail polishes are very well made and the quality is equivalent good to many other nail polishes that I've personally tried. So those are my favorites for the month of April. I do want to mention one last stuff that I've been enjoying, and this is the L'Oreal face sponge. I believe their beauty blender. It's kind of dirty, of course, because I've used it, but I just needed to mention it. This is like their spongy, like for foundation, to apply foundation, and I've been really liking this one. I kind of feel like it's very equal quality to the beauty blenders, and they apply the foundation, concealers, everything so beautifully. So this is definitely a must-have. I think this was about like $6 over if I'm not wrong. I'll list it down on the description bar below, don't quote me on that, but this is definitely a must-have if you're looking out for something that is more affordable. I kind of like this much more comparing to the Real Technique beauty blenders, if that does make sense to you guys. So those were my favorites for the month of April. I do have a couple of stuff that I'm trying out that I have been a bit doubtful, and then some has been my go-to kind of product, which I'll be mentioning it soon to you guys. Definitely share with me what have been your favorites for the month of April. To my very next one, stay beautiful, both and out. Give me a thumbs up, share all the love and support, and subscribe to my channel. Goodbye.